briefly about our current economic situation?
Good morning, sure. So right now Malaysia's economy is facing challenges. The ringgit is weak, cost imported goods is higher than the exported goods, and also some sectors are still recovering from the COVID.
Yes, we can feel it in daily life. Food, transport and rental price are higher, so many people feel the pressure.
And young workers especially struggle because salaries don't rise as fast as living cost.
So this happens partly because of the global factors. When a country's currency weakens, imported goods becomes more expensive. So for example, when the US dollar is stronger and the Malaysian ringgit falls, Malaysia has to pay more for the same goods. So this causes prices to rise and also leads to inflation.
Plus, the global supply chain is not fully recovered, and when oil price keep changing, all this affect our economy.
Since you mentioned rising prices, this connects to inflation, right?
Yes, inflation is when prices of goods and services keep increasing over time. So right now, Malaysia is experiencing inflation.
Sometimes it's because demand is high but supply is low, and sometimes it's because food or import material costs more.
So to help everyone understand better, I think we should assign Miss Helena and Miss Anna to make a short company podcast to talk more about inflation, like the factors and the impact.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Money Talks Malaysia. I am Helena.
And I'm Anna. Today we're going to talk about inflation, so why prices keep going up, and the main factors behind it.
And to help us, we have a guest, Adina, who is going to share her thoughts. So, hi Adina!
Hi Helena and Anna, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to talk about inflation today.
Great! So Adina, what is the first reason that makes price rise?
The first reason is demand pull inflation. This happens when people want to buy things, but there are no stocks available. When demand is higher than the supply, shops increases prices. For example, after COVID-19, restriction lifted, and more people went out to eat, shop, and travel. That pushed prices higher.
So that's explain why food, transport, and even tickets for concert are very expensive right now.
And the second factor is cost push inflation, right?
Yes, cost push inflation happens when the cost to make goods or provide services increases, and businesses pass the extra cost to customers. For example, food prices and cooking oil has increased recently. Factories pay more, and the shops also charge more to customers.
Oh, so even basic things like breads, eggs, and also like noodles get more expensive because of that.
I also heard about something called import inflation. How does that work?
Imported inflation happens when our currency, the ringgit, loses value compared to other currencies. Imported goods like electronics, wheat, or some fruits may become more expensive. Since Malaysia imports many things, this pushes local prices up.
Wow, so global events really affect our daily life too.
Exactly, things like oil price changes, supply chain problems, or conflicts in other countries can make everyday goods become more expensive.
That really explains why groceries and transport feel more expensive almost every week.
Yes, families feel in a daily budget, even for small things like vegetables, snacks, or drinks.
So to summarize, the main causes of inflation are demand pull, cost push, and imported inflation. So all influenced by current events and global issues.
Right, understanding these factors help us see why price rise and why our money doesn't go as far as before.
And now we will pass it over to the next parts of our discussion, where we will talk about how inflation affects household and business.
The economy is growing, but life is getting harder. Price rise faster than wages.
For small business, growth still uneven. Big companies grow fast, but we struggle to survive.
This is why policymakers must balance the economic growth.
Policymakers play a really big role in balancing economic growth.
They should invest in education and skill, create quality jobs, manage prices, and also support small and local business to keep living costs affordable.
With fair wages, workers can live better.
With the right support, businesses can grow sustainably.
Hi everyone, so for the next topic, Adina is going to talk about the impacts of inflation in Malaysia.
Inflation has been a hot topic in Malaysia recently. Can you explain to us what are the main impacts of inflation in Malaysia?
Sure, there are three main impacts of inflation in Malaysia.
So, alright, Anas, let's start with the first one.
Firstly, inflation increases the cost of living. Prices for basics like food, fuel and electricity keep rising, which means people need to spend more just to get by.
That makes sense. Even if salaries stay the same, expenses keep going up. That must be tough for many families.
Yes, I will give you guys an example. If the prices of rice or chicken or cooking oil increases, families have to pay more for the same amount they used to buy before. Low and middle income households, especially B40 and M40, are the most affected because a large portion of their income goes to the daily needs.
So that really shows us how inflation affects our daily life.
Yes, and secondly, inflation reduces the purchasing power, which is the same amount of money, buys less than before. For example, if 100 ringgit can be used to buy 10 packets of bread, when inflation happens, we can only just buy like 8 packets of bread.
Wow, this really affects lifestyle and decision making.
So overall, reduced purchasing power can lead to lower household spending and also can impact businesses and the economy.
So, what is the third impact of the inflation in Malaysia?
And the third one is inflation decreases the value of savings. If your money grows slower than the prices, the real value drops over time. This makes it harder to save for big things like the education or when we want to buy a house or something like that. It can affect our savings up.
Okay, thank you so much, Adlina. We really appreciate your views on this topic and your time with us.
Yes, thank you, Adina. So, stay tuned for our next podcast. Bye-bye.
I think we can start our meeting for today. First, we will discuss about the initiative to promote economic knowledge to teenagers and adults through our podcast. Thank you for your effort for inviting Miss Adlina, the influencer. I can see a lot of positive feedback from the viewers. Now, let's conclude the discussion from the podcast.
The main factor of inflation is demand pull inflation. This happens when demand is higher than the supply of goods available. So the next factor is cost push inflation occurs when the cost of producing goods or providing services increase, and this will pass the extra cost to the consumers. So for example, when factories pay higher costs, shops will increase prices as well.
Good, Ms. Emma. What is the other factors that we can conclude from our podcast?
Another factor of inflation is import inflation caused by global events. Import inflation happens when the value of our currency decreases compared to other countries' currency.
So from the podcast, we have produced what overall conclusion can we make. From my point of view, the main impact of inflation is the increase in the cost of living. Prices of basic necessities such as food, fuel and electricity continue to rise day by day.
Inflation also reduces purchasing power. Nowadays, the same amount of money can buy fewer goods than before. For example, in 2015, 3 ringgit could buy 1 nasi lemak and 1 plate rice. However, in 2026, the same item costs around 5 ringgit
That is true. Another impact of inflation is that it reduces the value of savings.
Thank you everyone for the excellent discussion and conclusion. Everyone can dismiss.